how important it is to free yourself. You might keep things so balled up, and especially in New York, public transportation, all these people, it's hot. Some trains ain't got no AC and it's hot. And people are angry, they're mad. Like, you need a way to free yourself. And outside of this, I've even added to this another podcast called Got That Advice with Troy Weeks Music, which is a spinoff of Free Yourself, because people don't want to publicly free themselves here. They think it's like, oh, it's the radio, I don't want to do it. So I got Anchor, which allows you to dial, call in and actually just like leave a voicemail. And pretty much if you want to ask a question, you can say, hey, it's Shaniqua from X, Y, and Z, and I want to just, ask a question about blah, 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 blah. And I could take those questions and input it to the podcast itself as well. But that's more of like a place where people can really, like, on a smaller note, free themselves into the ability to publicly free themselves and free yourself. So that we also have that option. And the crazy thing is, not only do I utilize it for that, but I also utilize it to help people out there who listen to Free Yourself, who listen to our Wins on That podcast, or people who come up to me and ask me about a podcast, or people I meet. I'm like, wow, you could do a podcast. Your voice, the way you converse is very intriguing. And so I also utilize that to help people and teach people how to have their own podcast, which is, just happened by chance. Like, hey, I decided to put this together, and, this is what I'm doing with it. Would you love to be on it? And so, like, I even spoke to Courtney about, finishing an episode with me on there. And just, be reaching out there. And I spoke to Crystal about it, and she said she would do it. I've already had some guests. I had these 3 young ladies on Memorial Day. I did a special Memorial Day edition, and I had 3 young ladies, and we were on as well. So it's like, it's really to spark conversation, and also to get people's eyes open and interested in being able to just be comfortable with being free with who you are. People are afraid to talk. You'll go on Facebook and you'll post something, and you'll right behind those computer screen, but you won't literally talk about how you feel when you're given a platform to talk. We give you a platform to talk. What's up? What's goody? We here. And so that's what we're trying to focus on. How can we make it bigger, Dick? How can we get the word out there to let people know, hey, this is what we're doing?
I think that just the social media presence of, possibly like, promoting a little heavier, like before, and, but I think that people are gonna come after a while. They're gonna hear about it through word of mouth, and maybe also the video thing might be the route as well, because a lot of people will watch the video and you put little clips out of maybe, and I think that's what I thought about. I thought about maybe you might need to do this show before you do it live. Maybe you might need to record it first so that you put clips out sometimes of the dialogue that y'all having, so that people can people could watch 3-minute clip of, this happened. Okay, this is what they're going to talk about. So now I got to watch the whole show. I listen to the whole show on, on Saturdays or Sundays. That's what I think people are, because I know that's how I listen to a ton of podcasts. I watch a ton of podcasts when I get a chance, and it's like sometimes you're at the gym and you're listening to the podcast, but sometimes you're home on the Saturdays, nothing to do. Hey, let me watch the podcast. I saw they put a clip out the other day, and it sounded like they was touching on something that might reflect my views or what I'm going through at this. I think that's that's the steps that could be next in the future for the evolution of Free Yourself.
You know what? I actually like that, and the reason why I'm saying, like, God speaking to you, like He always do, especially when you be hitting us with those messages. I feel like what I've been lacking is I'll go on Instagram and I'll see like minute clips of other people's like podcasts. I'll be talking about something important or saying something, blah, 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 blah. And it's really intriguing to me. Like, if I would have never heard the podcast that they had, I just listening to that one, moment. Like I do with my saying. Like, sometimes I'll take great parts of certain videos I've recorded on my phone, and I'll say, hey, this is really good. Let me put that up, Okay. And so I think that what I should do is, if not pre-recorded, also take it from the live after recorded, take some of those snippets from the good points from the live and actually utilizing that on, via social media, on YouTube and Instagram.
And then they can always double back and then go back to listen to the full audio. That's a great idea.
See, teamwork, baby. That's what it's all about. Right. That's what That's what's all. That's why it's always good. Two brains are better than one, and I feel like it's very important in the day and age we live in now is to utilize the network you have. But it doesn't make sense that you're working so hard for somebody else as a member, but you literally can be working for yourself based off your own skills. There's people out here doing it. They ain't got no damn skills out here making money. You got skills, but you're out here working for Joe Schmo. So it's like, come on, Like, well, we gotta band together. We gotta utilize what we had to make it right. That's what they did back in the day when they had money. Girl, you press and curl. You know, I'm a good cook. Come on, you press and curl this hair. I'm gonna get that food popping. You know, I just feel like the barter system is important. We need to get back to it. They're trying to keep us away from that because they realize that we don't need them if we do that.
Yep.
We don't need you if we barter together. Why do we need to go to a grocery store when Shirley, you know, down the street got her own, she grow her own tomatoes and all that. So let's go get them from her. I'm sure she needs somebody to, you know, wash and fold her clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it may be. Like, I feel like if we really paid attention to that, like, we could really, like, really, things will really change. You know, maybe we can band together. I've been thinking about this a couple of years ago, actually. It's kind of funny we're bringing it back up. You know, making like a barter app or something where people could, you know, barter services.
You're saying too much. You're saying
all right, done. Wait, stop.
You can't have to hold it out. But I think too, like you know, if you cut the middleman out, that's what podcasting really is. You know, you don't have to go to a radio station and listen to something. You can listen to a podcast, listen to your favorite people and support them and see what they're going through. Same thing with music. You know, instead of having to sign to a label, you can easily just put your music out on other services and streaming services and get to gauge your fans and see what they like and what they're feeling. And that's what I think that, you know, cutting the middleman is going to soon be the thing to happen. And like I said, the podcast, you are basically your own boss. You have your own show. You don't have to worry about somebody else trying to put their hands in your pockets and not doing any of the work.
That's true. Wow. I didn't think about that. I'm thinking about that. That's not even that. We got a couple podcasts. Courtney's on like 5 podcasts already. You know,
I don't know.
You know, I already have BC podcast, YouTube show, so much. So I don't really stop to think about it until I really, like, someone says, oh, you know that you're doing that, or you know this. I'm like, wow, you know what? I haven't even thought about it. I just go. Just like go. And I enjoy it because I'm really so close to really living the life I want in regards to being able to wake up every day happy doing what it is that I love. I'm so close to it. And sitting on Craigslist and applying myself now is that. Making those connections when I get those photo shoots is that, because now I have photos, now I have videos, now I have reels, now I have connections, now I have, you know, so I'm like, you gotta say and do. And this year, like, you know, you have to just, it's easy to say things. We be saying things all year. That's why we do our New Year's resolutions. We say, oh yeah, this year I'm gonna go to the gym. Or this year I'm gonna stop smoking cigarettes. This year I'm gonna stop. And this year never happens, right? But it just takes 21 days to break a habit. And you can just take 21 days to just say, today I'm not smoking cigarettes no more. Today I'm not smoking cigarettes no more. 21 days on the calendar, mark it off. By that 22nd day, guess what? You ain't gonna be smoking cigarettes no more. So if it's like, if you can really just focus, the biggest thing in life is to realize the only person stopping you is you. That is, you know, like, people don't. It's so easy to say, oh, my grandma, oh, my boyfriend, oh, the dog, but, you know, my next door neighbor, you know, I can't sleep. No, girl, stop. It's you. Stop making excuses for what you can't do and just utilize and spring forward in action on what you can do, because you can't change what you can't do. You can only do what you can. Learn how to say no. I'm Mr. I got you all the time. Know how to say no until you're burnt out and your body's like shut down. Because you don't need to understand what's good. I'm going to show you what's good. Like, you don't ever want to be in that place. It's not good. And, yeah, you got to just learn how to say no. You got to learn how to be able to just take on what you need to. And saying no, it's not, of course, to me rude, but you got to realize that some things aren't beneficial to you. They're only beneficial to the party that you're helping, which is not bad. I'm not saying everything has to be beneficial for you. I'm just saying that, you know, you just got to be cautious of that. What about you? You can't be out here doing everything for everybody else, like the bank account, doing everything for everybody else. And what about you? What does that leave you?
It's good to be. It's okay to be used, but don't be abused. It's a difference.
Yes.
That's a good way to put it. It's okay to be used, but don't be abused. So come on, that should be a hashtag on a T-shirt, because that going through that right now with the church. I don't know if you guys heard about Leandra Johnson. One of the great singers of gospel, One Sunday's Best. She flipped the script on the church and said, you know, the church is the biggest fucking robbers. The gospel church, the Christian church, is the biggest fucking robbers and you can't call the police on them and get arrested. She really, you know, felt some type of way, and you know, if you really look into the story, you'll realize a lot of things have happened with that. Like, you know, and it's all started with her being on Preachers of Atlanta. And openly talking about just smoking weed and being comfortable with it and being, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, each his own, every platform, you know, it is what it is. But I just think it's a time and a place. And if you're on a platform, you know, where it utilizes your main source of income, your main source of everything is because of is God, then you don't have to put that out there. That's your own business. But when you go out there and broadcast and do things like that and other people in power, they're gonna feel some type of way. So the church try to shut her down. Like, nope, you out here making us look crazy. Nope, we don't want her singing here. We don't want her doing this. We don't want her doing that. But when you have God's favor over your life, and regardless of what it is what it is. And what she said wasn't a lie. But when you live in a society, in an industry where people, that are in control, really have the power to say so to make things happen, say yes or no, there's only so much you can do. That's why, the question always comes with artists and Grammys is having a Grammy, is that the best accolade that shows you as an artist if you have a Grammy. And I feel like to each his own. Not everybody wants a Grammy. You don't need to have a Grammy in hand to say, oh, you're a great artist because you got a Grammy. I don't think, that the only thing that represents your level of artistry is if you have a Grammy or not. I just think it's important to, value who you are and just no matter what you do, be good at what you do and be true to yourself in what you do. Because that's when things will show. And that's what people will see what's really going on. I think it's just be true to who you are. Because if you're being true to who you are, you ain't got to worry about having a nervous breakdown later on, something going down, because people going to relate to you. And that's another thing with artists. Like, we out here trying to fit in a wave and get on the move that fits in with somebody else. If you don't fit in nowhere, make your own. I made my own because I didn't fit in with nothing else with nobody else. So if you don't fit in, make your own. Do what you got to do. And that's that. You got to make your own lane. But the way things are now, we can do that. Like Daquan said, you don't need no label. You don't need no label. That's what you put yourself out there, see what your market is, see what they like, see what they're receptive to, and make it happen. Yeah. You don't need no labels. Yeah. I think we had a comment from Kiki Millie. Did you say that? She put a comment, or Courtney said that? Who said that?
I think Courtney said that.
She said it. She said, y'all make me so proud of the men you are today. Love y'all. Oh, we love you, Titi. What's goody?
Oh my God. Thank God. Did you guys hear those fireworks?
No, I heard.
They sound like gunshots. I was like, I can't read this over the air with this in the background. I'm sorry.
Troy, can I touch on the church a little bit though?
Yes. Yes, please.
Give me 1 second. But I think that people need to realize that people interpret the church and the Bible as they want to, right? Because they make up their own rules as they kind of go along with it. And the Bible has a lot of holes that you got to fill in yourself. And the Bible was written so many years ago. I've heard people say, oh, you can't listen to rap on Sundays. It's the holy day. The rap wasn't even invented during that time. Whose rule is that? And church is also where you choose to worship. Church is also where you choose to worship God. You don't have to go to a holy temple and worship God. Right now, we're talking about God. We're worshiping Him, right? We're giving Him praise. But people just like to interpret things the way they want to, but then forget their own sins at the same time. Like they're holier than thou. And they don't realize that, I said, the Bible was written so many years ago. And if you really interpret the Bible, one thing they say is that Adam and Eve had 2 sons, right? Cain and Abel. But then Cain and Abel had kids. How did Cain and Abel have kids if there was only Eve as the female that was there?
That means they had to have sex with their mama.
That would be the incest. But there's also things that you have to understand that they were the first people created. They wasn't the only people created after that. God created people after that. But the Bible only tells you that little bit of detail. So you got to add a little bit more into it with your own knowledge. Right. And people, like I said, like to put in their own spin on the Bible when it's convenient to them.
Right. Right about that. Wow. See, that's exactly why we wanted you on here. It's that truth, brother. Because, for me, like everyone knows how I feel about church. Like since I got 10 to 13, that's a big part of my life, and I'm very, grateful to, be able to realize who God is to me and who He wants me to be. So I always talk about God, spread God's love, and I think it's important that people feel so hurt and judged from church, and that's why they run away from it. And I feel like that's because so many people are so tied on positions. Like so many people are so tied on, I want a position. I want to be the boss. I want to be armor bearer. I want to be the nurse. I want to be this. Like, listen, you focus on the wrong thing. You focus on the wrong position. That's what I was supposed to write that down earlier. You focus on the wrong position. Like, you so focused on being in the church and being somewhere, a place where your name can be next to it, and it says you're this, you're that. Versus our job was not to be in the church, it's to be outside of the church. And
Yeah.
telling spreading spreading the gospel of Jesus and God's love. Like it's supposed to be outside the church because we're already in here. We already know what's up. We already know each other. We
You
see each
know?
other every Sunday. So we're supposed to be. Our job is to be out there fellowshipping and bringing people in to the to the hospital of love. And so that it's like it's so many people out here that's been hurt by church that they just over it, and it's so sad. And that's why young people are strayed away. They ain't even because their mom and daddy, which is like our age, a little bit older than us, don't really have that. Didn't really have that church structure. So now younger kids, don't have that. So now that's why they're so disrespectful and have no respect. It's just it's so crazy and getting out of hand. It's like enough is enough already. Like when are people gonna stand up? When are people gonna stand up and do what's right? And another thing I was gonna say to Daquan, I wanted to ask you because this is something I ran into recently, being in the park with my daughter, is that when you are in the park and the big kids want to play in the little kids parks and they want to be all over the place running around, and they probably can't stand me, but I don't care. But I'm the type of person where I'm just like, I just don't want to, no issues. I want to be able to have fun and
Yeah.
enjoy the park.
It's
But I always be
dangerous.
fighting with them. I'll be fighting with them like it's an issue because they
They're
get
rough.
your big stuff out the big park, out the little kids park. You're all jumping, you're all cussing and crazy. You're all
Yeah.
kissing and being all raunchy, doing all stuff that these
Mhm.
kids don't need to be seeing. Take that over there to the big kids park, going over there. But what I did love is that I did make a difference in their life because this one that just cussing his mouth was so crazy. I told this one they just wanted to be around me. They seen me and my daughter. They seen how I was interacting with the other kids. They wanted to be around me, and one of the older kids. And I said that little boy, his mouth is crazy. He was like, point him out. Which one? I said that one right there. He told the little boy, get over here right now. You see this man with his daughter? You to watch him. He was like, okay, I'm sorry, and he walked away. And it's like, wow, I didn't expect that to happen. I just told him his mouth was crazy. If he come over here, I'm gonna tell him to get all over his ass over there. But he he took care of it right away. And so I was just trying to teach them that, y'all gotta learn. Like some parents won't say nothing. They'll just sit there and be walking around. I'm not gonna be one of them parents on YouTube and they calling
Mhm.
me this names or calling my kid doing this or blah blah blah. No,
Mhm.
what's gonna happen is you're gonna see me on camera dragging her. Because if you want to, this is what you can get. Like you're not gonna be disrespectful because I ain't come here for that. I came here to play in the park. So
Yeah.
you can go somewhere else with that. So have you ever experienced some craziness in the park with your kids?
Uh, I think that I kind of scary looking at times. I can be intimidating. But no, my thing is the kids do, they are kind of disrespectful and they want to, do little movements or try to swing on the little kid swings when the big kid swings is right over there. But they, so I try to just make sure my kids is good. But I also am like a protector, so I would want to see the other kids. I would make sure that they good as well, even the big kids. I might check them and stuff like that, and they might be scared, like, oh my God, he just said something to me. But I don't curse them out because I wouldn't want nobody to curse my kids out. I come at them at the same respect level as I would want somebody to give my children and my kids is doing wrong when they get older. So I try to give them that type of respect, but I also let them know, look, man, nah, this ain't the route. Or if you see them, playing rough too rough, yo, man, yo, chill out. Don't do that, or But then sometimes you do feel like you got to back up, and you can't say so much because these kids are very disrespectful, and we as adults have to also sense of ourselves and remember that we're talking to a little child at the same time.
Right.
So,
That's why it's
I
always
try to give it.
respect. Like you said, it's always like how you come at them. Like I always, like you said, come at them the way that they, you would do with your child. And that's why, like, when I see them being disrespectful, it's more like, what are you doing? Like, take that over there. I don't curse at you or get crazy, so I don't expect you to get like that with me. That's why I give you what you give me. And so I think it's important to let that be known. But we got to show them. We got to lead by example. You definitely do that very well. And that's why I was like, oh my God, he's coming on. Let's get him. Awesome. So thank you so much. And, we always end the show the same way. Courtney, before we do our roundtable ending, do you want to say anything else today, Courtney? Have any more questions before we move on?
No, I actually just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Sometimes we're all over the place, and so it just I feel like having you here brought everything together in full circle. We were able to kind of get an insight from someone who's not only a listener, but a fan, and also someone who will give us honesty. And I love that. And thank you so much for providing that for us, because that, keeps us grounded when we have someone from the outside in with us. So thank you so much for
I
joining us
appreciate.
today.
It really does. Thank you. You don't know how much this really meant to us. Thank you so much, for sure. And like each and every week, we do this. We like to end a certain way, and especially being who you are, as like being a dad, being a leader, being someone out here, making change in the world every day. Is there anything you want to say? Leave the people with. As you know, first, we're gonna have this for years to come. We're gonna be able to go back and listen. But like, yo, remember? So, is there anything you want to say to the world, to the people, to anyone, to let people know, leave something with them in regards to Daquan Carter?
I just want to say, love those that love you, and continue to, just strive and make sure that you make your dreams come true, because you never know who's listening, you never know who's watching, and you never know what the future may hold for you. And again, just love everybody that loves you, and even the people that don't love you, have some love for them, and hope that they will find love one day.
Two snaps. Wow, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Again, it's a pleasure having you outside of just chatting or being here. So yeah, I appreciate it. We appreciate you. It's always a pleasure to have you either way. And now, hopefully, this can open your eyes and spark something new, and maybe get you on a segment, or get you involved in some other way.
I'm here,
yeah. So we'll definitely talk more about that. Coco, anything you wanna? But first, Daquan, tell them where they can find you, because people may want to ask you questions and might want to say something.
Daquan Carter on Facebook, Duke MAG 45 on Instagram. That's DUKE MAG 45. That stands for Determined, Unique, Knowledgeable, Entertaining Man Accomplishing Goals. And 45 is my birthday.
I never asked you what it meant, and now I'm even more smiling bigger knowing what it means now. See? Come on, I knew you had it in you. Come on, we bosses, baby. We taking over the world. Coco, any last thoughts? Anything you want to drop before we head off?
We covered so many things today. I don't even know what to use in my closeout because we've been so productive. But just pretty much going back to what you said about being respectful to those who earn it, pretty much. I just want to leave everybody with respect is earned. I always lead by that. So if you want to be respected and you want someone to be kind around you and you want someone to match your vibe, then you have to give respect. And to everybody else, just be as respectful as possible and love one another until they prove otherwise, that they deserve otherwise. Just be kind and just spread it, because one person can spread it to another, and kindness is contagious, and we need more of that right now. So especially online, please don't be mean to people online. You don't know what they're going through, and especially if they're behind a screen and so are you. You can't see their face, you can't see their life, you can't see their state. So just be as kind as possible in every situation, and life will be that much better. I mean, that's what I'm leading on, because that was my favorite thing we talked about today.
Got it. Come on, girl. That was deep. And I'm going to piggyback off that a little bit with the don't be a bully, because you never know who knows who won. And you never know who is who, because people portray one thing to be online that they're not. And you may see one picture be something else, and next thing you know, somebody stabbed you in the neck somewhere, and you didn't even know that because you said something that hurt somebody's feelings because you knew what was going through. Be cautious, y'all. You got to be cautious. For every action is a reaction. Don't do something without thinking about the consequences later. Because if you think about the consequences, you might not do it to begin with because you really thought about it. Put some thought into it. Don't just say the first thing that comes to your mind. Think about it first. Because sometimes it may be the most important thing. It may be crucial, but how you could have said it could have changed everything versus just saying how coming from your mind right out to the top of your head. So just be cautious. Be mindful. My mother always told me, don't do something to somebody you want done to you. So that's whether you're saying it, physically doing it, thinking it, and then actually whatever it may be. Don't do something to somebody you want done to you or your family or somebody else, because it's definitely somebody, whatever you're doing or however you're doing, whoever you're doing it to, is somebody else's mom, sister, brother, uncle, daughter, maybe. So you have to think about that, which could be yours and vice versa in return. So be nice, be kind, and, spread love. That's all you need to do. This is a special edition of Free Yourself. Thank you to Daquan. Thank you to Coco. Thank you. I ain't got my top voice today. That's why it's a little, And thank you to myself.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's been wonderful, awesome. It's been another episode of Free Yourself. It's been very special because we changed the time and had somebody very special. This is going down in the history books, baby. We did it. We got Daquan on the line, and he's here. And hopefully this is not the last of them you'll hear. Maybe this is just the beginning, baby. So thank you guys so much again for listening to us each and every week. You guys, we want you guys to tune in, chat room, email us savageorg@gmail.com. Listen to us Wednesday nights, Monday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights, with sometimes Sunday nights.
Every day of the week, pretty much.
Every day of the week, we're here. We're almost there, baby. Until next week, till next time, stay savage. That's how we end it. Gotta stay savage.
Hey, savage, gang.
There we go.
Free your mind, free your heart, let it go free. I say free yourself, free your mind, free your heart, let it go free yourself.